We've got your back. Whether you're looking to achieve a healthy and happy lifestyle or an elite athlete looking for world-class recovery and injury rehab, we have you covered. Our passionate team will work with you to create a tailored recovery plan to fit any situation. Get back to being you. The David Braley Sport Medicine and Rehabilitation Center, where everyone is treated like a marauder.
Stop till I'm good and done. I'm gonna push it harder, gonna climb up higher. It's like I just can't miss. I was made for this. I show the world I'm stronger, prove it to 'em I'm a fighter. I can't help but win, 'cause I was made for this.
We've got your back. Whether you're looking to achieve a healthy and happy lifestyle or an elite athlete looking for world-class recovery and injury rehab, we have you covered. Our passionate team will work with you to create a tailored recovery plan to fit any situation. Get back to being you. The David Braley Sport Medicine and Rehabilitation Center, where everyone is treated like a marauder.
inaugural dual meet at McMaster University. It is, we are at a start time, fresh at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, wherever you're watching from. I'm Will Lehman, and I will be commentating for all the tonight's wrestling action with this this matchup between the bitter rivals, OUA and OUA first, OUA second, consistently for the last 4 years, McMaster Marauders and the Brock Badgers. We're just getting underway here. Our first match will be Adrian Winters for the McMaster Marauders and Cho Sherpa for the Brock Badgers. Action starts. Lot of head movement. Lot of tie-ups. They're fighting from the zone. McMaster's trying to gain back position. Brock tries to circle. The official asking for action. And they're called to the center. Sherpa attempting those underhooks, trying to drag his Marauder opponent back to the ground. And a shot from Adrian Winters. He attempts to finish. The officials was calling for him to continue. He does get 2 for exposure. Sherpa holding on. Trying to make his way to a crackdown. Sherpa gets under himself and gets the reversal. 1. Badgers are on the board now. 2-1, attempting to crank over his Marauder opponent, Adrian Winters, and they're called to the center. Again with the underhook. He tries to move him, and he gets 2 for his trouble. Winters fighting from underneath, looking not to give up on anything here. He's being cranked. The officials look, and he gives him the 2. Still working from those under tie positions. Sherpa moves his opponent to the zone. He asks for action from the official. Is that step out is called? That's 1 for blue. We're tied up. Adrian Winters, the Marauder, is winning on criteria. He is red for this match. And that's the end of the first period. They go to their corners. And the official asks for both men to return to the center. He sends them back. He sends both of them back. It would appear They both need a wipe down after that action in the first period. Again, with the underhooks, Sherper is trying to assert his dominance in the center. He's moving to the headlock position, looks to reach, looks to circle. Official calls him to continue. He tries to clear the arm, attempts with the trip. His opponent recovers, fighting back. He's pressured to the zone, circles into the center. Both men working from the tie. They break for space. A shot from the Marauder. He attempts to finish. He's stuck underneath, recovering. No shot. Re-engages the Marauder. The Badger gets one for his trouble, pushing his opponent out. On the reshot after the exchange, they're called to the center. He leads by 1. 2 minutes left in the second period. Adrian Winters looks to come up from behind. Both men attempting to work from the tie. They break, re-engage. Sherpa comfortable with his lead. Pushes an opponent, and he shucks him by. Comes around the back for 2, the Marauder. Looking for more. The official asks him to continue. Tempting the gut wrench. Slips. And they're both called back to the center. Action resumes. Sherpa now on the back foot once again. The Badger looks for his tie, working inside. Pummeling in, shucks him down. Looks to circle, comes around. No points. He won't let go of that leg, the Marauders, yet. The official asks him to continue. Turns him over. The Marauder looks like he might escape. He might come out of this. He's working hard from underneath, and it is awarded 2 for his trouble. Looks to lock up the lace. And they're called to the center. A great defense by the Marauder, Adrian Winters. Now leading comfortably with 5 seconds to go. And your winner of the first bout, Adrian Winters, for your McMaster Marauders. And we're back with action on the women's side. 2 already scored for the Badger in blue. Red is our Marauder. And she attempts to pin she attempts to pin. The Marauder fights back to her stomach. Mara Sanders is fighting for her life in the first 30 seconds of this second bout of this dual meet. That is Francesca LaGreco is leading by 4. She scores another 2. A gut wrench. Now leading by 8. She attempts the technical superiority. She's looking for that 2. She wants to finish early in this first minute. She doesn't find it. They're called back to the center. Mara Sanders really fighting from deep hole here. The Marauder looking for anything. And she gives up the 2. That's victory for the Brock Badger, Francesca LaGreco. Lined up back on the male side. Gabe Sematelli for the Brock Badgers against McMaster Marauders Tin Dow in the third bout of this dual meet, this head-to-head between these 2 feuding schools. Some would say the OUA leaders. Not quite ready to get underway. Here's the officials discussing something on the previous bout. The tech superiority for the Brock Badgers, the female side. And here's we're underway. Good ties from both men, attempting to establish their dominance in the center. Tin looks for a pick. He gets. Looking for a high tilt, a gut wrench. He's asked to continue by the official. It's called to the center. 2 awarded to blue, which would be the Marauder this time around. Outside single for Sematelli. Looks to circle, drag him under. Looking to exploit it in crackdown. Tin Dow holding on, not looking to give up the position. And they're called up. Appears to be a dispute about the existing score. They would appear to have taken back the 2 for blue, which would have been the Marauder. The officials are discussing. Both men are called back to the center. Appears the 2 for the Marauder will stay. Action resumes. Both men looking for their tie-ups. 10 looking to hike up that underhook. Semitelli fails. Looks to recover. Stuck in the front quarter here. The Marauder looks to finish. Official asks for him to continue. They're called to the center. Some shucks. Maybe some snap downs. Looking for something from the tie. Outside single attempt by Semitelli. Recovers. A shot. Looking for it. 10. He looks for the soup, but comes down with the 2 out of the scramble. Looks to continue. He leads comfortably by 4. Called to the center by the official. The Brock Badger looks to escape the hole he's dug himself in. Another shot from the Marauder. Looks to circle. Semitelli defends from the crackdown. He looks to turn over his opponent in the Olympic lift. He gets 2 for his trouble. Exposes his opponent. Looks to do it again with a high tilt. Appears he has his opponent stuck, or is he stuck himself? He exposes himself for 2. They're tied 4-4. Red has criteria. They're called to the center. The Badger now leads. A challenge called from the red corner. We'll get back to you when the challenge is resolved. Appears they are resetting the scoreboard. Both men have come back to the center. The official explaining to Brock's coach the call. Action resumes. 10 seconds left in this first period. Shot from the Badger. He looks to finish. Gets tossed over. And it appeared to be out of regulation time. No points awarded. It appears after the challenge, blue leads by 8 is what I'm seeing from the screen up here in the box. So red would appear to have lost the challenge. Both men return to the center. Period 2. Marauder looks for a shot, looks to pick the ankle after dragging. Both men using their tie-ups, trying to snap down, get the shot. Badger attempts, looks to finish. The Marauder defends. He sprawls out. Semitelli looks to back out. Re-attack from the Marauder, circles behind. And he gets his 2. That's a technical win for the Marauder. Tindao. Back to the female side. Brooklyn Brown for the Badgers in blue. And Naomi King for the McMaster Marauders in red. Both women look for their ties, pushing her opponent to the zone. Looks to drag something out of it. Looks to circle. A shot. High crotch. Looks to finish. The Badger tries to turn her. Fighting from crackdown. She looks to circle. Double it up maybe. Comes around. Gets a 2 for trouble. Looks to lace. They're called to the center. 2 minutes in. Both women still trying to feel each other out, looking for the tie that works. Maybe the shuck, and she drags her opponent down, circles again. The Marauder looks, she drags her down, circles for 2, attempts to fold that arm in. Looks for the crossface. Too late. Called back to the center. The Marauder leaves comfortably. 4-0 to the Badger. A shot from the Badger. She looks to finish. Comes out on top. 2 awarded. She's looking for that exposure. Attempts the chicken wing. Trying to crank her Marauder opponent over, but she won't give. They're fighting in the zone. Official calls them back to the center. 2 for trouble. The Badger attempts another shot off the get-go. Looking back for that power half. She switched sides. Brooklyn Brown is now leading by criteria. The Marauder, Naomi King, fighting fighting to give nothing more up. They return to the center. 50 seconds left in this first period. Another shot attempt. Looks for the single. Comes around. Nothing awarded yet. She still has her arm caught. The Marauder fights for the position. She won't let it go. Tries to hike up the leg. Nothing yet. Tries to kick out. The Badger. And she gets the 2. The Marauder now looking to work from parterre. Looking for the lace. They're called to the center. Just under 10 seconds left in this first period. Level change. Looking for another shot. The Badger attempts. She backs out. Fighting off the 2-on-1. They're called to their corners. The official calls for both women back to the center. The Marauder leads by 2. Badger behind. Looking for an opening. She works to the inside. Attempts to collar tie. Marauder fights back, pummels in. Badger trying to drag her opponent down. She gets caught. Marauder looks for the underhook. Both women looking to fight. And a shot from the Badger. Looks to circle. She's stuck underneath her opponent. She comes up in the scramble. She gets 2 for trouble. She now leads by criteria. Looks to line up a leg ride. She's putting that pressure on her Marauder opponent. Looks to expose the hip. Official calls them back to the center. Tied 6-6. Badger leads by criteria. Attempts another shot after the whistle. Looking to increase that lead. Even fight for this bout. Marauder holds the center. Wyoming King looking on the inside, looking for that tie. Another shot from the Badger. Her Marauder opponent circles behind, gets another 2. She now leads 8-6. Looking for more in parterre. Back to the center. A minute left in this second period. Badger shoots. She's stuffed. Good defense by the Marauder. Looking to hold on for this minute. She looks to trip. Gets the knee tap. Another 2. She looks to go back to work in parterre. And they're called back to the center. Another shot from the Badger right after the whistle. Looking to elevate that leg. Looking to come in behind. She needs these points. 30 seconds to go, and she's behind by 4. The Marauder fights not to give up position, but she gives up the 2. She fights in the zone. They're called back to the center. 10 seconds to go in this second period. Another shot from the Badger. 5 seconds on the clock. The Marauder She fights not to give up the 2. That called, the towel's called. Winner for your McMaster Marauders, Naomi King. Challenge is called. Looks like they're going to run that back, see if she gave up the exposure in those last seconds of that bout. The officials reviewing the footage. Naomi King talks to her coach. So, the 2 is awarded. She may be ahead by criteria. I'll have to look back at my bout sheet. They're called back to the center. And they lose the challenge. Your winner is Naomi King for your McMaster Marauders. Back to the action on the male side. Alex Harris for the Marauders. Ethan Graves for the Brock Badgers. Both men fighting for position in the center. Looks for the 2-on-1. Ethan Graves looks for the collar tie. Plenty of movement in these first 30 seconds. Looks to work from the underhook. Ethan Graves looks to circle. Shot, and he's interrupted by the official. The Marauder is called to action. Still 0-0. Shot attempt, backs out. And the Marauder looks to use his head and arm. Attempts the shot, gets turned over. See who comes out in the scramble. Gets exposure on his opponent, looks for the pin. Ethan Graves escapes to his stomach. Badger now fights from parterre. Called to action. The Marauder looks to continue. They're called back to the center after that exchange. Badger ahead by 2 after the scramble. Alex Harris, your Marauder, looking to come from behind. Both men trying to make their way through the tie. Underhooks for the Marauder, loses them, looks to re-attack. Ethan Graves looks for something. They're both circling towards each other. Marauder looks for a trip. They're called to their corners. That's the end of the first period. Brock Badger, Ethan Graves looking to maintain his lead going into the second period. The Marauder Alex Harris looking to get his offense going. Still trailing by 2 after the initial exchange. Action resumes. Another shot from the Badger, looks to finish the single, gets the step out. Again with the forward pressure, looks to push his opponent back to the zone. The Marauder doesn't make it so easy this time. Looks to circle in, using the underhook. A trip. No, they return. He looks for the pick, and he stumps his opponent. Comes back, gets his 2. Looks for the lace. Looking to make some work here in the parterre. Tries to drag his opponent back. Both men looking for the body lock. The Badger gets stuffed, falls to his back, turns to his stomach. Now 6-5, your Marauder leading in the exchange. They're called back to the center from the zone. Up the change on the scoreboard, the official asking, does blue lead by 6? Does red lead by 6? Point difference. 2 minutes left in the second period. Yes, blue is leading by 1. Marauder Alex Harris looking to get his offense. Challenge called from the red corner. All right, the men are called back to the center. Challenge is lost by the red corner. Shot from the Badger. Looks to finish. He does. Outside the zone. 2 for his trouble. Now leading comfortably by 3. Table calls for a stop to the action. The officials convene. The lead is now trimmed down to 1. The Marauder red trailing 6-7 against his Brock opponent. Looking to clear the tie. Looks to use his underhook. Marauder fights off a single attempt. Hikes up his opponent. Tries to throw him outside. What's it called? 1. A push out for the Badger. coach calls another challenge on that push out, like an explanation for the call from the official. Action appears to be resumed. The finished conclusion after the challenge. The Badger still leads ahead by 2 over the Marauder by 8-6. Looks to capitalize on his lead. Less than a minute to go in the second period. The Marauder, Alex Harris, looks, finds a shot, comes up from behind. Gets his 2, goes right to work in parterre, looking for the lace. He looks to circle. Has to continue, and he gets his 2. Looks to tighten his cross ankle, but the Badger defends. Appears to keep keeping him. But no, he rolls through. Badger escapes. Looks to reattack. Exploiting the underhook, wants to turn the Marauder back. They come back to their feet out of the scramble. 10-8, 12-8 for the Marauder. Stuffs a shot, and your winner, your McMaster Marauder, Alex Harris. Resuming action on the female side. The Marauder, Macy Milasiak. The Badger, Bronwyn McGregor. Both women fighting for control of the center. Trying to find that angle off their ties. Badger looking for inside control. They're called back to the center. Blue is called to action. A shot, low single attempt by the Badger. The Marauders sprawls as best they can. Nothing scored in that scramble. They return to their feet. Looking for that arm drag, that elbow pass. Shot attempt. She tries to recover. The Badger pressuring overhead, drags her opponent down. Front quarter circles back. Nothing scored yet. She walks. She drags her back in. 4 awarded to the Badger. Looks to pin. The Marauder turns through. Fighting in parterre in the zone. The Badger looks to tie up a cradle. Drags her out, gets another 2 for exposure. The Badger now leads by 6. 25 seconds to go in this first period. Arm throw attempt. She spins through. 4 awarded. And that's a victor for the Brock Badgers. Brawin McGregor by technical superiority. Action resumes on the male side. Marauder looks to circle after the shot attempt. The Badger tried to back out. They're circling. They're scrambling. He turns through with a gator roll and 2. Back around. Looks to go to work. Gut wrench in parterre. Another 2 for his trouble. Is he going to drag him out of bounds? And he does. Another 2. First 30 seconds full of action for the Marauder TJ Langlois against his opponent, the Badger Bryn Lowen. Badger looks to pressure forward. Behind by 6. Looks to make something happen in the zone, but gets stuffed. TJ Langlois looks to tie up the pin, cradles the head, looks to pin those shoulder blades. The official looks. He confirms. No, nothing yet. The Marauder allows the Badger to turn back through to his stomach. Official asks him to continue. They're called to the center, just shy 2 of a technical superiority. We're now just shy into the second minute of the first period. Another shot from the Marauder outside single. Looks to finish this. They're scrambling for position. He gets his 2 for exposure. Will he pin him as well? No. They're called back to the center. Your winner by technical superiority, your McMaster Marauder, TJ Langlois. back to action on the female side. Natalie Vecchio for your Marauders. And for the Brock Badgers, Cassie Corbett. Tosses the headgear. Looks like it wasn't fitting on right. Action starts. Both women pushing. Looking to establish dominance in the center. A shot from the Badger. Big sprawl from the Marauder. Looks to stuff this shot. Looks to keep the pressure. Badger looks to finish. Looks to turn the corner. Goes to a front quarter. Looks to circle. They scramble. Nothing gained. Hand fight. Looks for the angles here. Oh, and a shot gets caught. The Marauder is stuck. She circles through. Gives up to the Badger, now ahead. Looks to go work in the zone. Looking for a lace. They slide out. They're called back to the center. Shot from the Marauder. Snatch single. Gets up. She loses to a push out. The Badger she did redirect her opponent. Now leading by 3. Minute 30 left in the first period. Looks to go to work from the tie. Marauder pushes her opponent towards the zone. Another shot comes to the body. Circles in. And she gets 2. Trims that lead down to 1. Natalie Vecchio looking to come back. Off the whistle. Looks for a snap. Looks for a shot. Goes to the body. Both women circling. One trying to shuck one off the other. They fight for hip control. And the Marauder comes out on top. She now leads by 1. Just about 20 seconds left in this first period. They're called back to the center. Another shot off the whistle. Looks to finish. The Badger looks to... She loses control. Out of the scramble, Natalie Vecchio comes out with an additional 2. Looks to go to work for that lace in parterre. They get called back to the center. Oh, no, time has expired for the first period. They go to their corners. Official calls for both women back to the center. Sends both the athletes back. Action resumes. Badger looking to pick up from her deficit. Looking for something off the tie. The Marauder fights, circles back to the center. Won't give the Badger the position. Looks for the 2-on-1. Circles around, gets that head and arm, circles, grabs the leg, gets her 2. Looks to secure that cross ankle again. They're called back to the center. Now leading by 5, Natalie Vecchio, your McMaster Marauder. Another shot from Brock off the whistle. Loses it. Comes back, circles back around. The Marauder looks to go to work in parterre once again. They're called back to the center. Now leading by 7. Looks for the shock. Just about 1:30 left in the second period. Another shot. She looks to finish. Stuck underneath. The Badger holds on. Looks to pressure her head. Break free to space after the scramble. Tries to shuck down her opponent, looking. And the Marauder tosses her down, circles back for 2. Looks to finish in parterre. They're called back to the center. Just 1 point shy of that technical superiority. 40 seconds left. Comfortable lead for the Marauder. Badger looking to pressure. She trips, recovers, and the Marauder, she's looking for the pin. She comes on top in the scramble. Looks to secure those shoulder blades. Official looks. She confirms. That's a pin for your McMaster Marauder. Natalie Vecchio, your winner. Action resumes on the male side. Gabe Bonchette for the Brock Badgers. Julian Cato for the McMaster Marauders. Both men looking for... Whoa! Gets the 2 after the failed shot. Scrambles, comes behind. Big moves in these first 20 seconds. Both men looking to work from the underhook. Fighting for control. Shuck by, recovers. Looks to break his opponent's grip. Grabs the head and arm. Badger recovers. Works back to those underhooks. Looks to pass that elbow. Both men fighting from the tie. Marauder circles in. Shoots, he misses, tries to recover, circles around. Will he get his 2? Comes back around, and he does. He now leads by 4. Julian Cato for your McMaster Marauders. They're called to the center. Gabe Blanchette looks to defend from the Marauders' attack. They both break out of the scramble. Still looking to use that underhook. Circles around. Julian Cato with the big double. Another 2. Fighting in parterre from the zone. Looks to throw him out for another 2, and he does. Big gut wrench by Julian Cato after great double circling, finding that corner. The Marauder now leads comfortably by 8. Looks for another shot, and he gets it. But they fight from the scramble, gets pushed out. Loses position halfway through that shot. Believe no points scored either way. Look to finish it early this first round, this bout. Would appear he took call for the trainer. Julian Cato appears. He would like to get checked out. Appear he took a few bumps and bruises on that double attempt. Says, yep, I'm good. Let's continue. Let's finish this. Action resumes. The Badger fights from his nil score. Looks for something. Julian Cato looking to finish this bout early. Now in the last minute of the first period. Shoots, finds his outside single. He's got his 2. Will he get more? No. Badger turns to his stomach. He's called up. Technical superiority for Julian Cato. Back to the female side of the dual meet. Tahani Blaze for your McMaster Marauders will be red. Rachel Hall for the Brock Badgers will be blue. And we have a call to action. Looking early for that 2-on-1. Tahani Blaze looks to force her opponent to the zone. Looks for the low single. Fails, recovers. She uses it. Gets the Badger stuck on her back. She gets 4. Looking to pin. End this in the first 30 seconds. Tahani Blaze looks to finish this in style. Official looks. She says, not yet. Looks to cradle the head, come over. She's turning. She's getting comfortable. And it's called. That's a pin for Tahani Blaze. Victor for your McMaster Marauders. Action back to the male side. John Vecchio for your McMaster Marauders will be red. Caleb Knox, Brock Badgers will be blue. Action starts. They're fighting. They're pummeling. looking to establish that collar tie. Looks for the 2-on-1. Marauder attempts to recover, gets pushed outside. Caleb Knox scoring the first point of the bout. A shock. Snap there for Caleb Knox. Looks to establish that forward pressure. The Badger looks for his opening. Pummeling in the Marauder. Shot attempt. Still holding on to that arm. Looks for something off the 2-on-1. Snaps. Looks for the opening. The Badger pressures his Marauder opponent to the zone. Looks to circle in. Marauder circles back to the center. Looks to hand fight to the inside. Marks a minute 20 left. This first period, still leading by 1. Caleb Knox. And he trips. The Marauder looks to recover. And the Badger scores his 2 out of the scramble. Looks to go to work in parterre. Looking for that leg ride. Turns him over. Does he get exposure? No. Official asks him to continue. They're called to the center. Badger leads by 3-0. Up. A little bit of a head start there. All right. Action resumes. Plenty of movement from the Badger. Looks to snap down his opponent. Looks for the level change. John Vecchio looking for those tie-ups, looking for that 2-on-1, looking for those underhooks. Looks to snap. And they're called to their corners. That's an end to the first period. 3-0 for the Brock Badgers. They're called back to the center. Action resumes in this second period. Here's a word of caution from the official. Both men looking to pummel inside. The Marauder circles back. Pushes an opponent toward the zone. Slowly moving back to the center, looks to shoot off, and he does, but he pushes his opponent way outside. Appears to have injured his opponent. There is some speculation as to the degree of respect with that last shot. Official's going to caution Caleb Knox before we resume action here. Did score 2 off that. Action resumes. Marauder looks to come up from behind. Badger looks to comfortably sit with that lead. Snaps down, looks for a shot. And they're going to call another caution on Caleb Knox. Some head bashing. A couple of club arms is, I believe, what the official is describing. This ain't boxing, folks. This is wrestling. Both men fighting for inside control. Attempts the snap. Marauder looks to work to the inside. Both men looking for their hooks. Trips. Gets his 2. Looks to go to work in parterre. They're called back to the center. 6-0 for Caleb Knox. And they're going to call the trainer in. Possibly blood time is called. And it would appear John Beck is coming back after a meeting with the trainer. Action resumes. Minute 30 left in the second period. Marauder looks to come from behind. He's been trailing this entire match. Looks to get his offense going. That's what I'm hearing from his corner. The Badger not going to have it. Looking to establish control with that body lock. Looks for the shot, circles around, powers through, pushes him outside. Gets another 2 for his trouble. 8-0 for the Marauder. Action resumes. Right back to it. Callum Knox looking to fight from that tie. And a shot from the Marauder. But he can't recover. Loses the 2, and that's a tech superiority for the Brock Badger, Caleb Knox. Well, appeared the two men shook hands after it all. We're back to action on the women's side. Plenty of movement these first 10 seconds. Vanessa Von Rose, the Marauder, pushes her opponent out. Claudia Landry gets 2 for trouble. Trying to use that forward pressure. Tries the snap. Looks for the underhook. Looks to circle, jumps for the single. Looks to work from underneath. The Badger looks to hold on, fight from crackdown. Looks to body lock, takes her over, gets a 2. Vanessa Von Rose looking to fight from the scramble. Looks to toss her over again. Takes her over, gets the exposure. Badger looks to continue in parterre, looks for the cross ankle, And they're called to the center. Marauder, Vanessa Von Rose, trailing by 3 with her 1-4. Claudia Landry in blue. Brock Badgers ahead by 3. Looks for something out of the hand move. Another shot from the Marauder. Looks to snatch a single. Gets exposure but gives up 2. Badger looks to reverse. She gets the position. She looks to pin. The official Marauder attempts to circle back to her stomach. Fighting. Badger looks to squeeze as she tries to finish this match. And she confirms that's a pin. Victory for the Brock Badger, Claudia Landry. Coming back to the male side, last match of the evening. Howard Mathat for your McMaster Marauders. Brock Badgers will send forth Yazdan for Kahuzat. Action begins. Looks for the underhook. Looks both men pummeling to take the inside. Shot attempt. Circles around. Sprawl from the Badger. Looks to circle. Comes up. Trips his opponent. Gets 2 for his trouble. Looks for another 2, but he's stuck. Gives up 2. They scramble. Called outside. Return to the center. Your Marauder leads 2-2 based on criteria. Marauder looks for something off the tie. Badger fights to push his opponent to the zone. They circle back inside. Looks for an arm drag, shoots again, gets stuffed. They circle back to their feet. He fights from the zone. He circles out, finds the corner, finds his angle, gets another 2 on the Badger. Another shot, outside shot for Howard Mathat. Looks to finish, fighting from under. Gets stuffed. Yazdan circles around, gets his 2, looks to go to work in parterre. And they're called to the center. He now leads by criteria. That's the Badger. Both men hand fighting, looking for that grip. Looks for a snap, looks for shoots the high crotch, fails, circles, gives up 2. Yazdan circles behind, looking to, and he'll hold right there, comfortable with his lead, 6-4 over the Marauder. They come back to the center. Action resumes. Less than a minute left in this first period. Marauder looks to answer the call. Both men looking for Shocks looking for movement, looking for snap downs. Caught up in the tie, looking to pass. Grabs that wrist control. Looks for something. Corner calls for push-pull. Finds the shot. Marauder scores. The official will call it 4-2. Something tells me there's going to be a review on this one. Yeah, they're going to challenge. Blue corner is going to challenge. Head coach Marty Calder wiping down his athlete. Questioning that call. The Marauder looking to establish who initiated and who kept control in that exchange as the double went out of bounds. Appears the officials have come to a decision. Blue corner has won the challenge. Now trailing 6-4. Marauder looks to tie things up. Shoots, looks for the double, circles, looks to push him outside, gets one for his trouble. Another shot from the Badger. He jumps over him. Nothing. Another high crotch. Turns to the single. Looks to finish. Looks to hike up that leg. Marauder trips. Gets the 4. They return to the center. Now leading 9-6. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left in the second period. Men's circle. Look for an angle off the tie. Push, pull. Circle back in. Another shot from the Marauder. Big double. Gets 2 for his trouble. Looks to finish. No, he doesn't get any more in parterre. They're called outside. He's now leading 11-6. action resumes. Marauder pushes opponent to the zone, gets a step out. That's 12-6. Another high crotch by the Marauder. Looks to circle, looks to finish. Badger looks to come out on top on the scramble. Gets two for... Looks for another gut wrench. But the Marauder sticks him. Can he finish? He gets the reversal. No, the Badger turns through. 14-8. Now the score. The Badger looks for the lace. He circles through and he gets his two. He's going again. He gets, that's his technical superiority. 10 lead, 8-18. Victor, your McMaster Marauder, Howard Maffat. All right, that would be an end to action tonight. We go to the scorecards, looking to see total the points for both the women and the men's. Both teams going to shake hands as we tally the totals here. appears the McMaster Marauders have taken victory in this dual meet. We'd like to thank you again for your support at home. And do not forget, tomorrow we'll have live coverage of the McMaster Invitational. I'll be back to commentate. Thank you. This is Will Lehman signing off.